Instead of the KGB, which should be abolished, we should have a foreign counterintelligence agency, and that's all. For over 70 years we have lived under an enormous lie. It's a lie which has been embodied by organs of state power. Unfortunately, these state authorities and their lies have come to my attention as president of the Committee on Constitutional Oversight. By a proposal of a group of deputies, Alexander Yakovlev and Eduard Shevardnadze were nominated to the posts of USSR Vice President and Foreign Minister. At the morning session, the President of Kazakhstan, Mr. Nazarbayev, spoke about the Union Treaty, about the economic and political independence of all republic, and naturally he talked about the role and necessity of all union structures. These thoughts were heard in other speeches as well by deputies from the Union republics. Deputat Kafarova spoke about the situation in Azerbaijan, the situation in the Ukraine, and its declaration of independence was discussed by Deputy Sherbak, who warned that Mr. Alenik talked about overcoming euphoria in the aftermath of the defeat of the coup. The president of Tatarstan negated the view that the emergency situation was instituted in Tatarstan. The workers' movements did not recognize the coup plotters. One after another, deputies, the leaders of the deputy group Soyuz spoke from the podium and from various microphones. They defended themselves against the accusations that they participated in the coup. At the afternoon session, the most interesting speech was that of Mr. Sobchak. The things we have heard in various speeches indicate an attempt to deprive the government of its highest government authorities. We're talking about liquidating the entire central leadership, about the fact that independence means deciding all questions at the level of the Republic. I see two dangers here. I would like to talk about my esteemed, I love this man, Mr. Nazarbayev, whom I respect very much. When I heard his speech today, I thought that it was made necessary by certain emotional feelings. I can understand this, but I cannot understand another thing. Today, the danger of emotional and unthoughtful decisions is 10 times higher than it was yesterday. Today, we are deciding the future of our country and, to a certain extent, the future of humanity. Therefore, it is extremely important for us not to hurry to take quick or superficial decisions, and as long as we are a unified country with a single constitution, as long as we have still not overcome all the remnants of the communist regime, I believe we should tell everyone, let's liquidate those elements of that system which has oppressed us all. Let us create at the beginning the necessary legal underpinnings so that every person, every nation, every government organization shall have the right to independently decide its national questions. But first, we must guarantee the right of each individual person, so we do not doom people in various regions to a return to totalitarian system. As we have been at 11 o'clock, the Supreme Soviet will continue its session. It is impossible for us to broadcast that session live for technical reasons, but we will tape it and show it at a later time. The Patriarch of Moscow and all Russia, Alexei II, addressed a church service in Uspensky Sobor in the Kremlin. He congratulated themselves and prayed for those who gave their lives in the fight for freedom during the coup d'etat. TASS has reported a communication from the President's Office of the Russian Federation. It says several republics have declared their independence from the USSR in recent days. In accordance with this, the Russian president has been empowered to do the following. The Russian government does not deny the right of Union republics to declare their independence, but says that because we have common borders, we must maintain links between the republics. And the Russian president, if these borders are not respected, reserves the right to demand the reconsideration and redrawing of these borders, especially with regard to the Baltic republics on a bilateral level. Because of the cooperation of the former government with the coup plotters, Prime Minister Silayev, with the agreement of the Soviet president, has taken over the responsibilities of the following institutions and has appointed the following people to govern the State Bank, the Ministry of Trade, the Foreign Economic Bank, the Ministry of Economic Statistics, Mr. Saburov, the Ministry of External Economic Relations, Mr. Valery Mangazeyev, have been appointed temporarily until new elections. The head of the Chamber of Commerce has been appointed, and Alla Zakharova. In Tbilisi, an extraordinary session of the Republican Supreme Soviet has opened. The participants in the session remembered those who fell defending democracy. President Gamsahurdia gave credit to Mr. Yeltsin and all those in Russia who prevented the restoration of totalitarianism in Russia, which would have been a great blow to Georgia. Georgia underwent both external pressure and internal pressure from its Communist Party organizations. The Communists supported the State Emergency Committee. The majority agreed that the decision of the president to appeal to the people and to foreign countries was the proper way to proceed. At a meeting with military personnel, we achieved no compromise whatsoever. The military commander told me that he was empowered by the State Emergency Committee to engage in military maneuvers here in the Caucasus, including on the territory of Georgia. I said, you will not hold any maneuvers here. You will not bring a single tank into Georgia, and not a single soldier's foot will cross into our territory. This was our position. Today, the parliamentarians decided to suspend the activity of the Communist Party on the entire territory of Georgia and to establish diplomatic relations with Estonia. The session appealed to the USSR Supreme Soviet to recognize its independence and create diplomatic relations. Ivan Silayev has taken control of a special committee on agricultural and